Trump circle touts risky climate engineering. Responsible scientists have little faith in untested proposals to re-engineer the Earth's climate system. While President Trump floors the accelerator for global warming through executive orders and appointments of notorious climate deniers to his administration, members of his inner circle are touting climate engineering as a cheap way to insure the planet against harm without any need to change lifestyles or curb the oil and coal industries. They resemble compulsive eaters who count on frequent liposuction rather than maintaining strict diets to keep their body fat in check and stay healthy. Many reputable scientists are calling for more research on what some call Plan B, planetary-wide interventions to engineer a way to avoid global climate disruption if measures to reduce carbon emissions fall short. But they approach such solutions with extreme caution, and critics warn that such a cure may be as bad as the disease. Evidence of climate disruption is all around us, including record high temperatures, record low sea ice, the die-off of major coral reefs, acidification of the oceans, drought-induced famines, and more extreme storm damage. At the same time, climate scientists warn that barring breakthroughs in energy technology and adoption of cleaner transportation, industrial and agricultural processes, the world faces severe risks of economic and social disruption over the next half-century from potentially irreversible warming. Dangerous gamble. Responsible scientists, on the other hand, have little faith in untested proposals to re-engineer the Earth's climate system, even if they back further research into such stopgap measures. Climate intervention is no substitute for reductions in carbon dioxide emissions and adaptation efforts aimed at reducing the negative consequences of climate change, concluded a 2-volume study released by the National Academy of Sciences in 2015. However, as our planet enters a period of changing climate never before experienced in recorded human history, interest is growing in the potential for deliberate intervention in the climate system to counter climate change. Strategies to reflect more solar radiation, it added, could rapidly cool the planet's surface but pose environmental and other risks that are not well understood and therefore should not be deployed at climate-altering scales. More research is needed to determine if such approaches could be viable in the future. Who would decide? Perhaps the single biggest obstacle to climate engineering is not technical but political. Who would govern its deployment? Could a mad billionaire take matters into his own hands? Could rogue nations weaponize the technology, trying to fine-tune solar radiation to disrupt the climate of their enemies? Rutgers University climatologist Alan Robach has even warned about the increased risk of nuclear war, because if countries can't agree on what the temperature should be, and somebody is mad at somebody else for controlling their climate, the situation could escalate into hostilities. Harvard physicist David Keith, one of the scientific community's leading proponents of further climate engineering research, insists that the rapid pace of climate change and the failure of governments to address it in time make it imperative to look seriously at every option for preventing runaway global warming. But he and his colleagues are quick to agree with critics that fear of solar geoengineering is justified and that it would be reckless to deploy solar geoengineering based on today's limited research. While stoutly defending the need for more research, they add, if Trump were to push solar geoengineering while gutting climate science, we believe the only appropriate response is active resistance. Creatures lie here, looking through the window. How's life feel?